When we talk about money leaks, most people think of fraud, big EMIs, or some investment that didn't work out. But do you know where the real silent drain happens? It's not in the big ticket items. It's in the small things you tolerate every single day without even realizing it. That's what this video is all about. Let me say it clearly. What you tolerate, you pay for. And not just with money. You pay with your energy, your time, your attention, and most importantly, your financial progress. Let's take a common example. You've subscribed to 4 OTT platforms. Maybe you watch only one of them regularly, but you keep all 4 just in case. Or you keep ordering food online every Sunday night out of habit, not because you need it or love it anymore. These are classic spending tolerances. Expenses you've let slip through the cracks simply because you haven't stopped to question them. Let's name this idea: spending tolerance. Spending tolerance is the amount of discretionary or even luxurious spending you accept without evaluating if it's aligned with your values or your long-term goals. It's money that goes out not because it serves a purpose, but because it's been granted silent permission to exist. Why does this matter? Because every rupee that exits your life without intention is a rupee that doesn't contribute to your freedom. Imagine trying to fill a bucket that has 10 small holes. You may not see the water leaking immediately, but over time, the bucket never fills. That's your financial journey when you allow tolerances to quietly drain your capacity to grow wealth. Let's bring this closer to home. Revisit your EDL tagging. Your essentials, discretionary, and luxurious spends. Within the discretionary and luxurious categories, ask yourself, what am I tolerating that doesn't serve me anymore? Let's take a few examples. That expensive gym membership you barely use because you prefer walking outside. Buying clothes monthly even when your wardrobe is overflowing. Gifting out of guilt or comparison. Frequent online shopping when you're bored, stressed, or just scrolling Instagram. Paying for apps you downloaded once and never opened again. Here's the powerful truth. You don't have to earn more to feel better about your money. You just have to stop tolerating financial behavior that doesn't honor your values. That's where your financial strength builds. Let me share a short real-life example. One of my mentees had been spending Rs 8,000 bars every month across 5 different delivery apps. When we did his EDL bifurcation, it turned out his essential monthly groceries cost him only Rs 4,500. The rest? Convenience spending, not aligned with his value of health and self-control. When we framed it that way, the decision was easy. He cut back, not from a place of suffering, but from a place of reclaiming control. This brings me to an equally important concept: decision fatigue. Every time you debate, should I buy this? Should I not? You're spending mental energy. That's not sustainable. Over time, you either end up making poor choices or develop resentment around money. And that resentment turns into avoidance. You stop checking your bank statements. You stop tracking. You start losing grip. But here's the good news. You can eliminate decision fatigue by setting boundaries and automating decisions. This is where pre-decided spending limits for categories like dining out, online shopping, entertainment, and gifting become game changers. You don't have to cut everything. You just have to decide ahead of time. For example, I will spend Rs 2,000 this month on dining out. Not Rs 5,000, not Rs 500, Rs 2,000. That's it. Now when the weekend comes, you don't have to feel guilt or pressure. You've already made the decision. This is your spending boundary. Boundaries give you freedom. They protect your values. They prevent regret. Soon, we'll dive into tools like automation, budget tracking apps, and even envelope-based spending systems that help make these boundaries real. But right now, I want you to stay focused on awareness. So let me ask you something directly. What are 3 expenses in your life right now that you're tolerating, but don't actually want to? Write them down. Then ask yourself, Why am I still tolerating this? Is this expense serving my goals or sabotaging them? What boundary can I place this month to plug that leak? Maybe it's canceling a subscription. Maybe it's switching from ordering in thrice a week to once. Maybe it's having an honest conversation with your family about gifting budgets or social outings. Whatever it is, remember, no one else will set that boundary for you. It has to come from you. Let me bring this full circle. Expense strategies are not about sacrifice. They're about sovereignty. When you set financial boundaries that match your values, you stop living by accident. You start living by design. You no longer get pulled into the trap of buying something to feel better temporarily. You no longer say yes when you mean no. You no longer leak energy, peace, or money into things that don't feed your freedom. You're not just plugging leaks. You're building strength. Quiet, confident strength. And that sets us up perfectly for our final video in week 6. In the next session, we are going to take everything you've learned so far about EDL, emotional triggers, and financial boundaries, and channel it into building your own monthly expense blueprint. We'll walk through how to flow your money into what matters, how to allocate based on your values, not someone else's opinion, and how to build a system that's both practical and personal. So get ready, because now we're not just stopping leaks. We're designing a strategy that finally puts your money where your heart is. I'll see you there.